I bought this driver for £169 from American Golf, from one of the most underrated brands in the UK. Let's see how it gets on, shall we? Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at my local American Golf, Broome Manor near Swindon, and I'm going to go and buy a very underrated brand, especially when it comes to driver. And not only that, when I was doing a bit of research for this video, I kind of wanted to get the most affordable driver that American Golf sells. So I went on their website, I scrolled through the list, which you'll be able to see in a minute, and this was the third cheapest driver on the list, or fourth cheapest driver, which really surprised me, as I like the brand. I think they're very good value. Not only that, second-hand price as well, is that they actually hold quite a decent amount of value. So you could buy it brand new, it's been out for quite a while, play with it, try with it. If you do outgrow with it, get a decent amount of money for it, or if you just want to go and buy it second-hand anyway, this is a very decent value driver for under £100. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's go and see what they got in there. We located the driver in question, but before we get into that, I have to show you the two little deals that we did pick up. I got a G410 3-wood shaft, as you can see here, for £20, and also a Ping GLE2 ultralight driver shaft for £20, which is always a nice little pickup. There's actually a lot of old season stuff on the shelf as well, like Sim 2s, Cobra Rad Speeds for like $269 for the Sim 2, I think, $249 for the Rad Speed, which you can have the option to obviously go and hit and test, which is obviously the upside against eBay. Actually going to a store and trying hitting it, then being able to have the option to then buy it at a discounted price is always a bit of a bonus. Not every American Golf is like this, but actually Broome Manor is actually very good. The range here is incredible, and the staff are actually very friendly. They even offered for me to try the underrated driver that I will be reviewing in this video. So we're going to go and use those Kirkland balls that we got from Costco the other day, and we're going to give it a test. 169, which I think is very good value as long as it does what it says on the tin. I've reviewed this driver before in a past video. You guys loved the review. The price is pretty much similar to what it was back then, and the fact it's 40% of the cost of what another version driver, whether it's Ping, Titleist, Srixon, Mizuno, whatever it is, it would have to be pretty bad to not be up there. It's got a very nice looking shaft in it, Ventus red, regular flex. It looks good. Let's see if it performs good. Let me give you the next 8 minutes of why I think this is a very underrated driver. Brand new, where you can go and get fitted on a monitor with it. Not many options, granted, but you're buying a £169 driver. Or second hand. The driver potentially that I reviewed 2 years ago, what's it going for? Very good value for you mid to high handicappers, which, let's be honest, if you were to go and get fitted for a £450 driver, you're probably coming out with a 10.5, 12 degree head with a regular or standard stiff flex that they come in. First 3 shots of the day, first 3 shots of the driver, especially my second one, goes to show no matter what driver in your hand, if that club face is open, the ball's going right. But already, even with the 2 good ones I got hold of, a lot lower launch and actually a lot lower spin compared to the Anesys 500 and compared to the Cobra, a package set driver that I hit the other day, which is a nice little early sign that it's built more for that mid to high handicapper range, and that's exactly what this brand's for. If you're a big hitter, if you're a single finger player, you're not going to need to go for a club fit for this. There's only 2 multiple shaft options, there's only 2 head designs, but my earlier point in this video is a lot of people play this game for a year, 2 years, feel like they need to go for a club fit because it's that missing sauce that's going to get them down to single figures, and they go and get a standard Ventus blue or Ventus red, a regular flex shaft in a 10.5 degree head with a high MOI, whether it's like the Maverick or if it's the Stealth Plus, whatever it might be, and you could probably get the exact same performance, height, launch and spin from something that's £300 cheaper. I've absolutely crunched that. The high launch, still obviously high spin for my swing speed, but slight downwind breeze. I think that's just stopped short of the greenside bunker. Club fitting is still important, and the reason that I like Ben Ross and I say it's an underrated brand is because you can get club fitted. And when I say club fitted, you're there with a professional and with a monitor and a screen, and you can work out what is the launch and spin. Typically, to get that experience, you have to spend £1,500 to £2,000 on a golf bag. And for those beginners of a year, 2 years, potentially 2.5 years, depending how much you play, I just normally say isn't worth it. If you're off 20 and above, or if you're off 16 and above, but you've only just started the game, I feel like your games are going to change so much if you've got lessons or you've got a bit more free time now. I honestly say just go and buy second-hand stuff, work it out, play with it, enjoy the journey, and when the time comes, then you'll know you're not looking for this secret ingredient of just throwing money at the game expecting results. But you could be 6'3", or you could be 5'6", or you could have a back problem, or there could be multiple reasons why actually getting an interim set built for you, irons, wedges, hybrids, fairways, driver, that isn't going to break the bank, and actually you can get a decent amount for them second hand a couple of years later. Well, it just kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I love how the last 2 days I've used probably some of the cheapest drivers on this hole at Sandford, yet got the biggest result in terms of length and dispersion in my career of almost working here for 3 years. I guess that just sums up golf really, doesn't it? And then I'll answer the same age-old question that I constantly get either on my Instagram, my Facebook, YouTube comments, whatever it is. Simon, I can't afford £120 on a driver. Simon, I can't afford 90. Simon, I can't afford £60 on a driver. What do you recommend? I'm a beginner, and I'm going to keep telling you the same thing over and over again. Ben Ross, second-hand drivers, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years old. This HTX driver here, for example, for £40 is going to do the job for a lot of you. If you need a 460cc, i.e. the biggest head possible, with no adjustable weights, decent loft, decent shaft, £26 this one went for. And I would love, and I am going to do tests on a Ben Ross driver versus the premium drivers. Let's see what the difference in ball speed is for clubhead speed. Let's see what the difference is in terms of relation of launch and spin when it actually has the same shaft and loft at address. £94 Delta X driver. Use the same driver I am today, which I've hit 4 shots with, for £94. This one, you even getting buy one get one free. You're getting an amp driver, 10.5 degree, and then you're getting a Delta, the model that I reviewed 2 years ago, basically just chucked in it. And that's why I like Ben Ross. They're using the same components, same grip, same shafts as all the other big boys, but they're saving money by not having a tour bill, not having a massive marketing budget behind them, and they're having to rely on the actual product itself doing the job for them. So people like myself or your mate goes, look what I picked up on the weekend. It's not that bad. It actually goes a lot further than a few of the other clubs I've ever bought. Now, before I get in a few downsides of what I could see through this driver, a lot of you guys wouldn't have known, because I haven't told you, that I've been pretty much hitting this driver consistently out the toe, and that's not on purpose. That's just my swing was turned up today. But the shot shape has been very impressive. It's high launching, it's high spinning, it's giving me the forgiveness. And even this one here that I've just hit massively off the toe, I mean, it virtually went straight. Forgiveness is always thrown about in the golf community. We can't get any faster ball speed, so everyone goes, this is the most forgiving driver ever in the world. All I'm going to say is this is as forgiving as it comes at a fraction of the cost. So let's talk about a few of the downsides I see in this driver. Number one, potentially aesthetically, especially on the top of the crown, which I'll show you now, it could seem a bit boy racer, a bit out there, a bit too much, and not necessarily understated, which potentially could put a few people off. In terms of sound, it's not as dead sounding as big of the mainstream drivers, that dead dull sound that you just kind of perceive of low spin and high launch, whereas a cheaper product you would see as more tinny. That being said, the Ping G425 definitely sounds a lot more hollow and tinny than this, so you could just put that down to perception and also preference. Number three, potentially could go as a pro and a con. The con is non-adjustable. You can't maneuver it. You can't get an easy new shaft just to slot in off eBay, put it in there, or loft it down to 9 degrees because you worked on something with your coach, X, Y, and Z, meaning that you're probably going to outgrow this mid-handicapper, high-handicapper driver sooner than others. The pro that I would have that is non-adjustable is that you're not going to adjust it. There's far too many people tinker with their driver week in, week out, when if they actually just spend a bit of time, I don't know, practicing their technique, they'd probably solve a lot of their problems. But again, pretty much all those reasons that I just stated in my con list is probably the reason why this driver is such good value. They've cut costs where the bigger manufacturers haven't. They haven't got a tour bill. They haven't got multiple different shaft head options. They've got a multitude of companies, distribution channels, X, Y, and Z to obviously support under the product. Therefore, if we didn't have that con list, well, you probably wouldn't have this driver. So guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm now going to go and be that weird guy on Facebook and eBay going, bought this driver new, only hit 7 times, and people are like, would anyone buy a new driver and only hit it 7 times? If you like this video, please leave it a like. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys there.